Hello there, everyone. Hopefully you're having a great day. Today we're going to talk about a very important subject. It's on digital transformation, and basically it's the question of, are you ready? Readiness is a key factor that determines the success or failure of any transformation. Determining your readiness, however, can be a challenge. As a senior leader, I've had the opportunity to speak to many C-suite executives and many board of directors on digital transformations. A lot of them focus on the digital part, thinking it's all about technology, and don't look at the transformation piece. Now, certainly there is a technology component for any digital transformation, but that's really the small piece. The business process and the other work that we have to do in the business transformation is by far the larger. And it's important to understand because when it comes down to readiness, it's really about your ability to be ready for that business transformation. If you do the business transformation right, the technical part of this is going to be very simple. Don't make the mistake of thinking this is mainly technology and that you're just going to slap on a new application, a new ERP system, and this is going to make everything work right for you. That's not going to happen. If you try to do that, the end results is your IT costs are going to skyrocket. If you don't have standardized business processes across your organization or could work towards that, what you're going to have to do is have different business processes throughout your system. And there's going to have to be work to be done trying to make them all come together. It's very, very difficult. It's not going to be worth it at the end. Your systems are going to be complex. That cost and all that work that I talked about just a second ago will end up being complexity. Complexity in IT systems is bad because not only does it cost more, on the flip side, you're going to end up finding that your business doesn't scale because of this. Overall, the big problem is that if we don't do that business transformation and just try to put the digital part in, it's like lipstick on a pig. You're not going to get the results you really want. So what does being ready for a digital transformation mean? It really means, do you really know what you want to get out of it? I mean, to the degree of transformation is really a journey. It's not actually the destination. But do you know where you're going with it? Is this only about customer experience? Or is it a full digitization of your supply chain? How far are you planning to go with it? You have to understand those details and just not hear it as a buzzword that you're trying to achieve. Is your leadership ready? Now, I don't mean that just your people are saying yes, yes, yes to you. I mean, do you have the right people in place to do it? If you're going to do transformation, do you have the people in place to govern these now global processes? Let's use the example of customer experience. Do you have someone who is in charge of customer experience across the board, that's their dedicated job that they're doing? You can't just throw your vice president of sales and marketing into this role and say, okay, you take care of it all. He's got too much to do. You've got to have somebody who's going to be responsible for that customer experience and have the authority to make sure these business processes are formalized and come together across the organization. It can't just be a coordinator who's just working with the different divisions who do all their own thing under the covers. It's got to be really about that. That's what I mean by leadership ready. Is your leadership in that position to be able to do that? And that was just customer experience. Think about that from supply chain and any other area that you're thinking of looking into. Again, you don't have to do it all at once. Phasing a digital transformation is absolutely crucial, but you need to think about where you want to go and what this means to each of those business areas and how you're going to work on them. Lastly, are your workers in agreement? A lot of times a CEO will think, I just have to tell my people what to do and they'll do it. That's really not the case. If you're going to make a major transformation like this, you want as many people on board with you as possible. That doesn't mean just the vice presidents. It means down into the operating units with people really being gung-ho and wanting to do this. If your people are excited and wanting to do this, you're going to have a much easier chance than if you try to shove it down their throats. Change is hard, and unless people understand the problem and agree with the solution, you're building your own obstacles to success. Now, there are some technical readiness things that you do want to consider. Is your IT producing the value you need? Is it optimized? If your IT team isn't optimized and is a very reactive IT shop, your digital transformation is probably not going to get you where you need to go. So look at that. See how you can optimize your IT. Are you getting the reports you need today? This is really a question about how well are you managing your information. If you're not managing your information well today, it's just going to get more complicated. So you may want to take a look at information management. Enterprise information management function is probably what you'd want to do to make sure that you're using this information effectively across the entire enterprise. And lastly, something that people don't think about is your desktop or laptops up to the challenge? If all your people have desktops and you're expecting them to work at home, well, obviously you got a problem. But even if you have your laptops, are they up to speed? Is there enough bandwidth in your area to have people be able to work from home? These are things that we learned during COVID, and it's very appropriate to consider when we go on to this digital transformation. Overall, a digital transformation is an exciting journey, there's no question. But preparing yourself for it properly is the difference between your best vacation you ever had or that road trip from hell. Think about it, plan it out. You don't need big consultants to tell you how to do these things. Think about it just in the respect of how you would do a transformation, either personal or through a corporate wide. Ask those same questions. And if you ask yourself those same questions, you'll be able to tell that you're really ready to get this done. And if you're ready, let's go get it. Thanks.